Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the current storyline going on in World of Warcraft. So, what brought this video upon is seeing all this really negative feedback on Twitter, on whether it's Reddit or any online source really, and I should caveat that by saying there's plenty of people who did like it as well, but just tons of negative feedback, especially from maybe more. Is famous the word? Maybe famous, or at least well-known folks that have a decent following. So a lot of people speaking out against it. Bad storytelling. That's a big thing I kept seeing. It's bad storytelling. It's just lazy writing and all this stuff like that. Because Sylvanas basically, spoiler alert, destroyed Teldrassil on a whim. So like it wasn't because of a master plan. It wasn't secretly an alliance person who did it to start a war. So there wasn't like a plot twist to it, I guess you could say. So that's considered lazy. However, most of these people, not all of them by any means, most of these people were horde, and I get why maybe they don't like it. But as an alliance, I kind of do like it because to me it foreshadows maybe Sylvanas finally meeting her end, because she is a little bit evil and crazy. And so maybe she'll die, and that's you shouldn't root for anyone's death in real life, but in a game I think it's fine to root for that. So as an alliance it's kind of nice. And then if she is redeemed or something else happens, then that's a plot twist for the alliance as well, because we're expecting her to die, so and it might make us be like even more angry at the horde or something like that because she gets to live. So for me as an alliance, I really like it. I do have some thoughts on why people are saying the things they're saying. I kind of already mentioned that some of the bigger voices express some dissatisfaction with it, and I think because of that, regular folks who just play the game they don't tweet or make content or anything like that. They just kind of regurgitate what they hear from the more famous people. So they hear, oh, it's bad storytelling, and I saw people in the game saying, oh, it's bad storytelling. Now, some of those people probably came up with that thought on their own, but others undoubtedly are regurgitating that. So that's one aspect of it. There's the obvious aspect that if you're a horde player especially, that you don't want to be the bad guy necessarily. You wanted to have well, some people would say cooler races, and all this stuff, and you like that storyline better, and you like the fantasy of the horde side better, but you don't want to embrace the fact that some of the horde races are a little bit evil, including the undead. Evil is not the wicked, maybe is even the better word for the undead. And as I said to somebody online, just you can role play your character however you want to play it. But you can be a passive undead if you want. If you're an undead that never PvPs, you don't want to war, that's fine. But that doesn't change what your race is. So, for example, you can, if 90% of, or whatever, of, well, I'll say white people because I'm white, 90% of white people did something bad, and you were one of the good white people, you should understand why people are mad at the 90%. They're mad at almost everybody. Yes, you are the one person, and maybe a lot reasonable people will be like, okay, yeah, you're fine. But overall, if you're undead, your race is wicked. It's a little bit evil. It's a little bit tainted or something. It's not a pure race by any means. So I understand that aspect of it. Someone pointed out, when Thrall was the leader, we weren't this evil and stuff like that, which is true. You weren't. But orcs were still a warlike race. Trolls are a savage race. Undead are a wicked race. Those things aren't going to change. High Mountain, yeah, they could probably join the Alliance if they wanted to, and they would have them or whatever. That's very true. And then the Pandarians are on both sides, obviously. So, which is, I didn't like Mr. Pandaria anyways. So, I definitely think that's one of the things as well. And then, of course, there's people who actually who know art and know writing, and they still think the storytelling's bad. And it's perfectly fine to think it's bad. I think it's good to have a differentiation of opinions, and causes some debates, talk back and forth, gets people talking about the game. I wish some more prominent people were um, giving it a little bit of praise too, and there might have been a few that I didn't see. I know Tali is pretty prominent. I didn't see him say anything negative, so that's good. But I do know also that kind of calling everything crap is kind of what sells. That's nothing that I'll ever do. I don't, if something's crap, I will call it crap. Like I didn't like Mist of Pandaria. I didn't enjoy it at all. I tried it, I didn't like it. Too many dailies was one of my big things at the time, as I was fairly casual. And yeah, so I didn't like it. I didn't like anything of it about it. It wasn't a good casual rating experience for me at least, and so I didn't like it. That's fine to say that, but I think some people just say things like that, say everything's crap because the best way to put it is if you are a prominent gaming person, a lot of your audience is going to be teenagers or younger, maybe early 20s, whatever. And by teenagers, I don't just mean 13, I mean 18, 19 as well. Early 20s. And at that age, at least me, and I think a lot, I'll say, are kind of going through a period where everything sucks. This is the cool stuff. Everything sucks. Everything sucks. So it kind of sells to say that everything sucks. I think that also works for old people as well. By the way, I'm not to be ageist or anything like that, but personally, I like the storyline as an alliance. I understand if you don't like it as a horde. If you're an alliance and don't like it, then hopefully you're like a writer, or you know some art. You're an artist or something, and you're like, yeah, this isn't good storytelling. And if you have that, that's fine. But me personally, I like it. I think it sets Sylvanas up to either be taken out, and for a new honorable leader to step forward in the horde, which would probably be Sourfang, or to piss off Alliance and she stays alive somehow, and or is redeemed. Even we don't want her to be redeemed. We're Alliance. We're not saints either by any means. We don't want her to be redeemed. We want revenge as well. We have revenge type people in our minds as well. Especially the human race in our faction has revenge all about them. So yeah. Again, I like the storyline. Of course, it could always be better. You could always make it more interesting. Spoiler, it's not really a spoiler because it's just my opinion, but I think a cool thing to happen would be Sylvanas dying to Bolvar, who's now the Lich King. Like, if he just came out of nowhere, and then the Alliance, praised him because he's a former Alliance commander, and the Alliance, yeah, he killed Sylvanas or whatever, and then he kills an Alliance person too because he's now completely turned by the old gods or whatever. He's completely lost his mind. So I think that would be really cool. So if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to say it's lazy. I'll say it's not a good storyline if I think it's not a good storyline, not just because it's not what I want or what I really am going for. So that's about all I have on that. Feel free to discuss your displeasure in the comment section. I do ask that if you've watched all this, that you please subscribe if you haven't already. Really would appreciate it. I know you might have a lot of subscriptions already, but I would really appreciate it a lot if you could do that for me. And other than that, everybody have a good one. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and please subscribe below. You can catch my gaming thoughts and activities on Twitter at RealKneecap, and you can also find me playing live on Twitch at KneecapKilla. Hopefully I'll see you soon, and of course, everybody have a good one.